We officially have 47 days until the release of NBA 2K26, and there's a lot of news regarding the new and updated MyPlayer Builder. So make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe for more NBA 2K26 news content. First off, on July 17th, 2K will be starting their Road to 2K26 live stream. And in these streams, they're going to be revealing new features coming to NBA 2K26, including improvement from community feedback and when to expect gameplay and full game mode breakdowns. Now, this is very interesting because 2K is claiming that they are listening to what the community wants fixed, and hopefully they're listening to the right people, because there is a lot that needs to be fixed going into NBA 2K26. But I want your opinion. Comment down below and let me know what you guys want to see fixed going into 2K26, whether it's the gameplay, the city, rewards, or more. Let me know down below in the comment section. Moving on, we have some sneak peek information on what the builder is expected to look like in 2K26. Now, if you guys don't know who Uncle Demi is, he is a 2K content creator, but he does have insider information on NBA 2K26. He's had some pretty solid info for the past few years, and he's been pretty accurate. In his latest video, he talked a lot about the NBA 2K26 builder and what is expected, and he said this about the tall guard builds.
What I will say is that, big guards, big builds will have, a really good opportunity to dribble in 26. So if you're looking to have bigger builds that beforehand just couldn't get the SIGs and animations, as the NBA starts to progress and these guys are getting bigger, taller, and being able to handle the ball, you can feel confident in having a guard build, a lead guard build that can dribble as your primary ball handler.
You guys heard it word for word. He said big builds will have the opportunity to dribble in 2K26. Now, this is huge news. In 2K25, tall guard builds were literally terrible. The tall point guard attributes weren't really the greatest, and the animations were really terrible. Now, the dribbling in general on 2K25 was awful, but it was even worse for taller point guard builds. So hearing this is a breath of fresh air if this is true. And Uncle Demi also had to say this about guard builds in 2K26.
What I will say is that effective dribble moves will be giving to the taller builds. So as you can see, you're capped out at 6'7". Expect to be able to be a little bit taller at the point guard spot. All right.
Just repeating what he said expect to be taller than 6'7" at the point guard spot. Again, this is really interesting because in 2K25, the tallest you could be at the point guard position is 6'7". So who knows? We may be able to make 6'8", 6'9", or even 6'10" point guard builds in 2K26. And that would be absolutely insane, but pretty accurate. A lot of people want realistic gameplay in 2K, so this would make sense. I mean, the best point guard builds in the NBA are really tall right now. SGA, Luka, Halliburton, they're all 6'6". Even LaMelo Ball is 6'7", and the list goes on. So honestly, it makes sense. But we really have to think about it. This has to mean something if 2K is being less restrictive on how tall you can be at the point guard position. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see, but this does sound great. Uncle Demi also hinted at what the dribbling is gonna be like in 2K26. Listen what he said.
Also, dribble styles, expect the dribble styles to also help tailor for the bigger builds to be able to guard. To be able to dribble.
This is music to my ears, but I hope this is true. I'm going to repeat what he said. He said effective dribble moves will be given to taller builds. And he said also to expect taller dribbling builds to have good dribble styles. Now, again, this sounds great. It really does, but I gotta see it to believe it. This is a yearly cycle of hearing the same thing over and over and over, and we as a community have finally caught on. So I do sincerely hope that this is actually true. I'm gonna make a very good point here. In 2K17, you could make a 6'10" point forward build that could dribble very well and speed boost. However, the dribble moves itself and the speed boost animation wasn't quite as fast as the 6'5" playmaker point guard builds. So the taller builds got the same exact animations in 2K17, but they weren't as fast as the little guards. And that's exactly how it needs to be going into 2K26. You can go on the Xbox right now and look at the description of NBA 2K26, and they describe it as fast-paced. So if they lie, this is actually bad. Now, moving on, Uncle Demi said this about the builder, and I'm going to be honest, some of you guys are not going to like this.
Expect the builder to be the same, almost about the same. I mean, it's been the same since 2K21. Don't expect anything too dramatically different than it was from this year. Okay, obviously expected to be a little bit more looser, I guess you can say, and also expected to be you know, some of the same situation stuff with like cap breakers and that type of stuff.
In 2K25, the builder and the gameplay do not go hand in hand, but I'm hoping in 2K26, the builder and the gameplay do go hand in hand. There are so many people that want pie charts back in 2K20, but honestly, I think that would be a big step backward. I think a lot of people just miss NBA 2K20's gameplay, not really the builder itself. Now, if we went back to anything, I would definitely prefer the double archetype system that we had in 2K19. There was such a variety in gameplay because the builder calls for so many different playstyles. But overall, in my opinion, I think we should stick with the freedom builder that we have now and just really improve on it. Now, for all my big men and slashers out there, Uncle Demi just dropped a gem. Listen to what he said.
Also, when it comes to big man contact dunks, expect that to not be capped at 6'10". Okay, so at 6'10", you're expecting to only be able to get the big man elite and pro contact dunks. Don't expect that. Expect that to be just solely based on your standing dunk rating. So if you're able to get that standing dunk rating to get the pro contact dunks, which is an 80. So if you're 6'6" and you're able to get an 80 standing dunk, then you can get the big that standing contact dunk. Almost kind of how it is for like your smaller individuals that can dunk, like a Zion Williamson.
Word for word, Uncle Demi just said expect big man contact dunks to not be capped at 6'10" builds or taller, and expect that to just be solely based on your stand dunk rating. Now guys, this is huge. If you don't know, in NBA 2K25, you can only get big man standing contact dunks if you're 6'10" or taller. But Uncle Demi said to expect big man contact dunks for builds that are shorter than 6'10", as long as you do have a high standing dunk rating. In my opinion, this is a huge W because there's players like Zion Williamson that exist who is 6'6", and he can get nasty standing contact dunks consistently. Now, this is a huge change to the builder because normally the shorter you go, the less standing dunk rating that you actually get. It's crazy. This all makes sense now why Uncle Demi described the 2K26 MyPlayer Builder as loose. It seems like we're going to have more freedom and less restriction and choose exactly what we want to do with our build. Pretty interesting. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Shooting is one of the most important aspects of any 2K, and this is what Uncle Demi had to say about shooting in 2K26.
And then, of course, from the shooting standpoint, one thing I will say is that expect shooters to get more of that 2K19 type feel, type vibe. All right, where, you know, you could have a lower rating and still be able to shoot.
Uncle Demi just said to expect shooters to get more of that 2K19 vibe where you can have a lowered rating and still be able to shoot pretty consistently. Now, this sounds great. You know, we kind of already have that in 2K25, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they change things up going into 2K26. But how do you guys feel about this? Do you guys think you should have to have a high 3-point rating to shoot pretty consistently like it was in 2K21 old gen, or do you think the skilled players should be able to green consistently with a 73-point rating or even lower? Now, speaking of shooting in 2K26, this is not confirmed, but 2K is hinting that rhythm shooting is going to be returning to NBA 2K26. In the game details, it says facilitate with free-flowing dynamic movement, stay in rhythm with improved shooting mechanics. Now remember guys, 2K did say that they're going to be listening to the community feedback on gameplay from 2K25, so it'll definitely be interesting to see the route that they go down with the rhythm shooting. Will they remove it or keep it and improve on it? I've seen so many different opinions on rhythm shooting from 2K25. A lot of people love it, including myself, and a lot of people absolutely hate it and despise it. There's so many people who hate it, but they've either never tried it or never really got good at it and they just want it removed. But if 2K does decide to keep it in 2K26, they definitely need to improve on it, and it shouldn't be such an insane boost to your green window compared to players who just use the button. But you guys let me know down below in the comment section, what are your thoughts on rhythm shooting going into 2K26? Do you want it? Do you not want it? Let me know your thoughts. Uncle Demi also had to say this about tall builds.
What I will say is that expect the 6'10" and taller builds to be able to get stuff like on-ball menace and that type. So right now you see how it's capped off. You're not able to get the on-ball menace. Expect to be able to get that and not be capped off with that, because we all know individuals like, again, Giannis, there's taller 6'10" builds that can defend.
Wow, this is absolutely insane. He literally just said to expect 6'10" and taller builds to get on-ball minutes. Now, if you play the older 2Ks, that's basically like the Clamps badge. There's really two things to point out here. Number one, is he confirming that on-ball minutes is back, which it should be. And number two, 6'10" or taller builds can get this badge. This reminds me of 2K19, all the lockdowns that were 6'10". Woo! Those builds were really hard to go up against, but it sounds like they're going to be back. Again, it sounds like they're having way less restriction on the builder this year, meaning they're going to let taller builds play even better defense. Now, this sounds great, but it could be very bad. We're just going to have to wait and see. He also said this about tall point guard builds dribbling in 2K26.
Back in 19 and 20, you know, those 6'7", 6'8" that were really, really good, that could, you know, get that very high, you know, dribble ball handle and stuff. You know, you should expect that again.
Wow, this is crazy. He just said to expect those 6'7", 6'8" builds from 2K19 to come back to 2K26. Again, this does sound great, but we're just going to have to wait and see because as a community, we refuse to get our hopes up anymore. Now in 2K25, tall builds could definitely get some decent dribbling attributes, but they couldn't speed boost, so none of that even really mattered. Going into 2K26, we just need explosive and way more responsive gameplay. Leave a like if y'all agree. With all this being said about the 2K26 MyPlayer Builder, it sounds great, but none of this matters if the gameplay is bad. So hopefully we see a big change heading into 2K26. If you guys want more NBA 2K26 news videos, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.